wow, I see my bicep fat. Okay, una, dos, tres, up, boom, 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 exercise, 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 exercise. Wow, that's all we always hear, exercise. But what about nutrition? I'm gonna put this down right now, right? So, I have been doing weight loss work for the past, 18, 20 years. So I may know a few things, maybe one or two things about exercise and weight loss. Well, welcome to my caliente kitchen, of course. And today we have a caliente person and a caliente topic and caliente nutrition myth that, well, they're not so caliente, they're just nutrition myth that we're gonna bust. So, again, I've been doing weight loss for the past 18, 20 years, exposed nutrition, lose fat, whatever you want to call it. And people kill themselves exercising to get to their results. Little they know, they never get to their results. They spend a lot of money, they read a lot online, they're confused. Well, I can tell you that 80% of your efforts come from your nutrition. And it's not just what you eat, the time that you put to make sure the nutrition is going. The cooking, the prepping, you name it. So exercise is great. I support exercise. I exercise 5 to 6 days a week. Exercise is good for your health. Exercise is good for your immune system, for your physical well-being, mental health, you name it. But when it comes to weight loss, there's something else. Exercise has a minimum effect on weight loss, and especially body fat loss. So I always say the proof is in the pudding. And I have the pudding, well, I have a fit pudding with me today. Well, my client, Josey, was one of those victims of the internet and the misinformation and those health gurus or fitness gurus that tell you don't eat carbs, exercise to no end, whatever you hear all the time. Well, this guy, when we met in last June, you know, I said, oh my God, we have a lot of work to do. But he did it. So I want to introduce you to him. Josey, how are you today?
Hello, I'm doing so well. I love that intro.
Oh my God, you're a fit pudding. You're far from a pudding. Oh man. So today, really, we want to enlighten people about how you manage to get to the six-pack. You know, that's the dream of many men and women, of course, on getting the six-pack going here. But you know the commitment that it takes. It takes commitment, and you were already committed. You were exercising. Tell us about that a little bit. You were exercising to no end, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. One of the things that you've helped me understand is that having, you know, a strong will and determination and persistence it's helpful, but if you're not doing the right stuff, you're not going to get
exactly
there. And so, yeah, I mean, I'd spent a lifetime, you know, learning about health and fitness, and you know, I had plenty of healthy habits. But when it came to my own nutrition, you know, I'd been researching a lot online, as you mentioned, and you know, we all know there's a lot of misinformation out there, and so I was just so confused about what I was actually supposed to be doing, because what I had been doing wasn't working.
Exactly.
I wasn't unhealthy, but I was not meeting my goals.
Your fitness goals that you really wanted to meet, and I remember that. And but anyways, you know, I know we also have an internal joke of where you come sometimes with, Manuel, is this true? And then you know, I remember the first thing you were asking me was about coconut oil. And the health benefits of coconut oil for burning fat, and I don't know what else you were showing me. And I gave you the rundown about how is all that BS. And now every time you come with new things to me, I'll be like, coconut oil.
Well, there's so many people and websites and information that are addressing people's desire for, you know, an easy, quick solution.
Exactly.
And you know, it was so helpful that you basically had the same message the whole time, which is It's about balance.
Exactly.
And it's about aligning your habits with what your goals are. And, you have a very good understanding of what those methods are. And you've been an amazing teacher.
Thank you so much. And you've been an amazing client because you follow the recommendations. And I love you for that, man. All right. So you have 5 myths that you had before you met me, but you busted these myths and they helped you to get to where you are now. So tell me about the first myth.
They not only did they help me, but I have to say, I couldn't believe how quickly they helped me. And
Yes.
I know that, really, we started working together, and 6 weeks later, my body was totally different. And it actually wasn't any more difficult than what I had been doing. It was just different. It actually, I would say it was easier than what I had been doing.
I love it.
Because one of the things I had been doing was, I would deprive myself of the foods that I loved. And I would do that as much as I can. And as we know, sometimes doing that makes you a little cranky. And I was regularly cranky, not only because I was like I'm a bread baker. And so I was not eating bread in anywhere near the quantity that I wanted.
Yes,
but I also was depriving myself of all these things, and I wasn't actually seeing any progress, and so it felt like hopeless. So I was, I think, what would happen is I would say, okay, I'm gonna, I think in order to lose fat, I have to eat less. So I would really restrict what I was eating, and what I would consciously restrict what I was eating, right?
but you were cutting a lot too, and the bread. And I remember when I met you, and you tell me you're a baker, and I'm like, ooh, I love bread, and then you wouldn't even eat the bread, and you even have a book, right? Tell us about your book too. I mean, a baker. Author published book on how to make bread, and you weren't even eating the bread. That was like, to me, okay, we need to change this now.
Yes, it was a sad story. You found me in a sad state, man.
Well, that's good, because that motivated me to help you change your life, man.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it, man. So I was depriving myself of things because I thought it would help me, lose some body fat. But then because I would get ravenous, right? And you taught me about the hormone of ghrelin, which you called the little gremlin. And you said, once your body starts releasing that hormone, you turn into a caveman. And a caveman doesn't care about losing body fat. A caveman wants to get the calories in the body.
Exactly.
And the dangerous thing with that was it would sort of happen in these moments of like, I'm so hungry, I'm going crazy. And I would just like shove whatever was around me in my face. And of course, that adds up to, there's no purpose to that. That does not fit the plan. So you helped me understand that was avoidable. It was not necessary to do that. And so now, I make a really conscious effort to eat every 3 to 4 hours. And I can't even tell you, I never get to the mental state that I was so used to getting into, of just feeling like a little crazy because I was so hungry.
Yes.
And, I would imagine that was the ghrelin going through my system.
Probably, yeah, most likely too. And you were exercising a lot. That was like, exercise never really was a problem for you.
No, I was exercising a lot. Sometimes, I would not. I was exercising so much that I wasn't really allowing my body time to rest and recover. And so.
All right. So eating what you like is important. So that was one myth that you burst. So you allow yourself to eat what you really like. Now tell us about another myth.
Well, I think another thing that you helped me understand is that a healthy diet is a healthy diet, which is just oversimplified, right? I sort of prided myself on at various points, depending on how uninformed I was, I did primarily eat a diet that consisted of whole foods, whole grains, healthy fats. However, the proportions and the ratios of those things were not consistent with what I wanted, with what my goals were.
Your
And so
macronutrients. Yeah, we worked on those macronutrients. Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, you helped me understand, like, okay, so if you want to be, if you're trying to lose fat, here's approximately where we can try, and then we check in and we track your progress and we see what happens. If you want to build muscle, here's about where you should be at, and we'll check in and track the progress. And it's always this iterative thing, which you are totally, a partner in. It's like you'd make recommendations, I would follow them to the T,
Yeah.
and then we'd check in. We'd say, okay, so what's happening? What are the changes that are happening to the body? And then we change the plan.
Exactly.
And so the oversimplification of like, well, I eat healthy, depending on what your goals are, a healthy diet can look very different, and your own body makeup and your genetics. And
exactly. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And again, these last few months have been very dynamic. We have to keep changing things because again, one size doesn't fit all, and you got your customized meal plan and based on your goals that you needed. And this is why you got to your goals a little faster, because you knew where you were doing what your body really needed you to do, which is fantastic. All right, so tell us the next myth.
Well, the next myth is that I thought I was eating enough protein. And the reality was I was probably eating like a half to 2/3 the amount of protein, depending on the day. I was eating a lot of fat.
Yes.
And again, not totally consciously, and by using Whole Body Reboot and tracking every single food or drink that I put in my body,
Yes.
I was able to really quickly see, like, oh my goodness, while my breakfast of like a paper thin slice of bread, 3 tablespoons of almond butter, half of an avocado, and a fried egg, that's like those are all good, healthy, whole foods.
Exactly.
But the proportion of them and the ratio is way off for what I was trying to do. So
I love this. And I remember you even too trying to meet your protein intake, and you will do it all in one place, in one meal. And I remember telling you, no, we need to distribute this protein throughout the day, because your body can only assimilate so much protein at a time, metabolize some protein at a time. So it's better to break out the protein throughout the day, throughout the meals. And that was something that I don't think a lot of people really know to do that.
no, I had no idea to do that. And also another thing that, I experienced is that it seemed to manage my hunger better as well.
Yes.
If in the afternoon, instead of having, just an apple, I have an apple and some Greek yogurt, some low-fat Greek yogurt, right, which is really high in protein. And now I kind of make an effort to. Most meals have at least 20, 25 grams of protein. And again, it keeps me out of the red zone of feeling like I'm going crazy.
So you're not doing those muscle heads, 60 grams of protein per meal?
No.
What a waste of protein. Anyhow, tell me the next myth that you worked on.
So this is, and I think, again, this is really just all in the, it's all an encouragement to track well you can, because I was of the mindset of like, oh, a cheat meal here and there is fine, especially if I just ran 10 miles.
Oh my
right?
God.
And so, I go and run 10 miles and I come home and, sometimes I'm sure I would eat like 2,000 plus calories, right? With not really any concern for what the macro breakdown was. And you helped me understand that, okay, view your nutrition from a every meal, every day, but also over the course of an entire week.
Exactly.
And so if I really have a strong craving to say, I really want to eat a donut, which we had a conversation about. I really miss apple fritters. You said, well, hey man, just plan for the apple fritter. Like,
Yes.
try to eat a little bit less in the days leading up to it, and try to bank those extra calories, and then eat the apple fritter. But just take a stock of the entire week, because if you eat more calories than you're allotted, you're probably gonna not lose fat.
Exactly.
And so I remember I said, Manuel, if you tell me that I can plan to eat an apple fritter, and it's all good, I'm gonna shit my pants. He said, shit your pants, Josey.
That's what I say. You better shit your pants. You better get toilet paper because you're gonna shit a lot. And I love it because you're like, what? And look at you, man. You ate. You are eating what you like. You know the frequencies. You know the amounts. How often you need to eat them. You're not depriving yourself. You finally have this good relationship with food, which is also something I work with people. And there's no fear about eating donuts anymore. Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome.
No, that's I think the biggest lesson, which is my myth number 5, which I just touched on, is I can't eat donuts anymore, right? Which is like,
yes.
You can eat. You don't need to say goodbye to any foods, especially your favorite foods. You just have to be mindful about quantity and frequency, and just work it in. And so you're absolutely right. Now it does feel like it actually feels pretty darn easy, based on my understanding and the way that I know that my food reacts to the foods and the quantities that I eat. Because I just have like simple rules of thumb that I follow. And, going off course every once in a while is totally fine. I mean, there was a handful of times where I reached out and said, Manuel, I didn't plan for it and I had a cheeseburger. Am I going to be okay? You're going to be fine.
And also, let's remind people, we did this all through a chatting app, right? We chat constantly. And this is great because, I was able to answer you sometimes fast and funny ways. Yeah, sure, you're not going to turn into a pumpkin by eating the burger, of course. And you're like, okay, I got it. Or you're like, Manuel, what do you think of these oils? Coconut oil. Is this the coconut oil scenario too? Yeah, it is also another coconut oil.
Yeah, there's. I mean, it really and I've kind of come to understand, like, okay, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is, right?
Yeah,
it comes
exactly.
Back to exactly. You have to have balance. And
but your success story is good to be true, though.
Yes.
I love that. All right, well, let's. I'm gonna make one of your favorites. I know you like burritos, right?
I do. I love them. Yeah.
Yes. So, oh yeah. So Alejandro's asking me, tell us about your book. He wants to know about your book. He likes bread.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I got a cookbook. It's called Josey Baker Bread. I got a copy of it.
All right.
Oh yeah. Look, you got it too. Yeah. It's a beginner's bread baking cookbook.
Oh, I need that book. I'm gonna get there. Can't wait.
Yeah, I wrote it for people who haven't baked a lot of bread before, or feel kind of intimidated by baking. And so the way that it's structured is actually structured in order to be followed sequentially. So the first recipe in the book is called Your First Loaf of Bread.
Ooh.
And then it only introduces as much information as is helpful in order to be successful in that recipe. And then as you go through the book, baking more and more, I introduce new information and techniques and equipment in a way that my intention is for it to be, really approachable and unintimidating. Because I think that bread has a certain mystique around it that, yeast is somewhat of a magical thing, but anybody can bake incredible bread in their home oven on the first go round. And so.
Ooh, I can't wait, man. I got my little mixer too, so I need to put that to work. It's not just for decoration. All right. Well, let's make this burrito. I know you like burritos, and I want to show people how to make a homemade burrito. Very easy, and And you know, a lot of people think, especially men, we like to eat burritos, and we think we're gonna have to say goodbye to burritos, as that's not true at all. So can I do that now? Yes?
Please, yes.
All right, so let me start, and then, you know, you gotta pick at least a 10-inch tortilla to 13-inch tortilla. So just be aware that, you know, if you're trying to watch your calories, tortillas are gonna provide already enough carbohydrates. So I have to be mindful about what else you're gonna put in here. So you can still have a burrito, but you gotta, you know, maybe pick your carbohydrates carefully. So we're gonna make a beans also provide carbohydrates. So just I like maybe like a quarter cup just for the flavor. There you go. I'm gonna put them like that. And then this is like maybe like a quarter cup to a half a cup of beans, because we're gonna keep adding more things. Now this is chicken breast. I wash my hands, by the way, so I can touch the chicken. I always follow with safety. And yeah, and you can add more, but I'm gonna add just a little bit here so I can close my burrito nicely for you guys. And then since I chose chicken breast, I want to add some fat to this, because if you choose a fatty meat like maybe you know, pork or beef or maybe even chicken thighs, then you have to watch your fats. And something that Josey have learned is to understand not need to put the guacamole, the sour cream, the cheese, the beef. So that is adding more fat too. So watch your fats, and I like to add the healthy fat, the good fat avocado. Love avocados. And then of course you can add a bit of you know, I like cabbage and I like color, so I pick purple cabbage. And then of course pico de gallo, which also counts as a vegetable. And who doesn't like pico de gallo? I mean, if you tell me you don't like pico de gallo, we should not be friends. So anyhow, so now let's see. You just close it like that. I'm not probably the best burrito wrapper, but I'm gonna try my best right now. And then we go. I did it. Oh my God! There you go. That's your burrito. I'm not gonna bite into this right now because I don't want to make mess in here. So do you like that, Josey? You think I'm okay with wrapping a burrito?
You sure you don't want to just take a nice bite of that, Manuel?
Okay, let me do it for you. I will do it for you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Just for you, man. Because you really, I have to say, my clients that are very successful like yourself inspire me to continue helping more people. So I thank you for that. And anyhow, so I think we're done actually. So in order to remember, if you want to learn more about myself, you can visit manuelvillacorta.com. I'm in social media, in all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, IGTV, you name it, in both languages, English and Spanish. And Josey, tell us where we can get your book, man. I want to get that book too. Amazon, I would imagine?
Yeah, absolutely. Amazon, local bookstores. My website has plenty of information. I've got a bakery in San Francisco called The Mill, but my website is just joseybakerbread.com. JOSEY bakerbread.com.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much for being here. Let's say goodbye to everybody. Bye, and follow our tips that we taught you today. Take care now.